channel may feature copyrighted video and audio content under the guidelines of fair use permitted by copyright statute for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All content and credit go to the original creators. No copyright infringement is intended. This channel may feature copyrighted video and audio content under the guidelines of fair use permitted by copyright statute for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. All content and credit go.
Hey Steve, how are you? Glad you're so excited to see me today. Alrighty, good afternoon everybody and happy Monday. Let's get to it, and we'll begin with a few scheduling announcements today. President Trump will be hosting the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney tomorrow for a working meeting here at the White House.
Welcome in, everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to my BFF. And I do apologize for being a little bit late. I am still putting things together. We got a lot to talk about, and we're going to be talking about the ICE raids and what people in Chicago has to say, specifically Black people in Chicago. So some people are saying that they're heightening it up more than it should be. Most of the world is saying that he's breaking the law. It's been lawsuits. I know Gavin Newsom has sued him a bunch of times. Like a bunch of lawsuits have been put in. Shout out to Fifi's Urban Homestead. Welcome in, fam. How you doing? Shout out to my Renaissance grandma. Thank y'all for being here. How y'all doing? Shout out to my member forensics account in the building. Welcome in, everybody, y'all. We not gonna take too much time because I also have another live stream set just for the crime channel. We're gonna be talking about Renea Lewis, and her birthday is today. Her birthday is today. She would have been 29, I do believe, or 20. Yeah, I think she would have been 29 today. They found her nailed and dismembered in a wall, an attic of some guy's. I don't know. It looked like a bando, but I want to talk about that. I want to learn more about that case. But we're going to talk about this for right now. Shout out to With Pain Comes Strength. Shout out to you, fam, and I'm sending you virtual hugs. And I definitely want to talk to you about the update with Desiree Thomas. If y'all haven't checked out my couple shorts, because I did probably 4 years ago and 2 years ago, I did some interviews with Pain Comes Strength. Her daughter, Desiree, was missing for 10 years. They finally found her. And now there's some new things coming up. This guy is trying to get out, so I need to get the update. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into this, y'all. Welcome in. Please smack that thumbs up as you come into the building, and also drop down and let me know who's here. And if you listening on the replay, please hit that like to hype. Help me get notified. Help people get notified of my channel by hitting that hype button. That also helps, and definitely the thumbs up and subscribing, and also donating if you choose. But all I ask is y'all just help me get out in the algorithm. So Caroline Levitt just went off live, and I want to see what the updates are. Like, everything is moving in lightning speed. I never even paid attention to politics until now. So, we gonna get into it. Let's see what they talking about today.
On Thursday, the president will host his 8th cabinet meeting alongside his incredible team. Also on Thursday afternoon, President Trump will host the president of Finland, Alexander Stubb, for a working meeting here at the White House. The president also wanted me to relay his congratulations to Japan for electing their next prime minister, a highly respected person who also happens to be the first female to hold the position for our great ally. While President Trump continues to negotiate peace deals.
Yeah, I usually look at recent crimes, but it just depends. It's usually whatever hits my heart. But if it's an older case, I would definitely need to have the family.
Meets with world leaders and celebrates the 250th birthday of our United States Navy, as you saw he and the First Lady do just yesterday. Democrats, unfortunately, are continuing to play political games, and we are now in day 6 of the Democrat federal government shutdown. Millions of American federal workers are under enormous financial stress as a result, wondering how they will pay their bills and take care of their families. If the Democrats do not vote to open the government tonight, federal workers will not receive their next full paycheck. Additionally, the special supplemental nutrition program for women, infants, and children will run out of federal money very soon. This program provides vouchers to buy infant formula, fresh fruits and vegetables, and other healthy foods for low-income families. It can be easily fully funded if Democrats simply vote tonight to reopen the government. Also, our incredible military service members who risk their lives to preserve and defend our country are now working without pay and will miss their next paychecks if this Democrat shutdown does not end tonight. The Republican-backed clean and nonpartisan funding bill fully funds this important food aid program, gets our troops paid, and reopens the government. So all of this begs the question, what is the Democrat ongoing shutdown truly about? The sad truth, we believe, is that the Democrats intentionally shut down the government and are inflicting this pain on American citizens to try and demand free health care for illegal aliens. Of course, this is an indefensible and truly radical policy to be in favor of, let alone to use as the primary reason to shut down the United States government. So the Democrats and their allies are desperately lying about their true motivations. We have to set the record straight with the facts so the American people understand what's really at play here. House Republicans passed a clean and nonpartisan funding bill to keep the government open and ensure our troops and other hardworking Americans are paid. Every single House Democrat except one voted against this clean and nonpartisan funding bill. Senate Republicans have subsequently tried to pass this same clean funding bill 4 separate times, and they will do so again tonight, to fully pass it to be sent to the president's desk for signature. And the president is ready to sign this bill to reopen the government as soon.
I want to welcome everybody in. We have 290 or 261 on the politics channel. If y'all could please double tap the screen to get to the thumbs up button. Help me get out there, help people know that we're live, and also support the channel, the content, and the hosts by smacking that thumbs up and also subscribing if you have not. Welcome in, everybody.
As it is sent to his desk. Yet every single Senate Democrat except 3 have voted against this clean and nonpartisan funding bill. The Democrats' current position is that the only way the American government can reopen is if illegal aliens can get free health care. Don't take my word for it. Just look at what's inside of the Democrats' proposal to reopen the government. Their funding proposal would result in nearly $200 billion spent on health care for illegal aliens and other non-citizens over the next decade.
Now, this is very interesting because we do know that the Democrats is saying that it's all about health care for Americans and all of that. But we're going to get into things that was happening before the immigrants actually came to Chicago, and the meetings and things that they were having, and how the community felt about all of this before it happened. So they not feeling them right now.
To put this in perspective, $200 billion is enough money to fund the entire children's health insurance program, which provides health insurance to low-income children and women. Under the Democrats' proposal, the millions of illegal aliens who improperly were granted asylum and paroled under the Biden administration would once again be allowed to receive Medicaid benefits. It does not end there. The Democrat proposal would also require Medicaid to pay more for emergency care provided to illegal aliens than it does for American patients who are disabled, elderly, or children. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. The Democrat Party has unfortunately closed our government, costing Americans their jobs, threatening our military readiness, harming our economy, and causing chaos, all to help the illegals.
Now, we do also know that the Republicans do have the House, and they are in charge, and they didn't meet with the Democrats is what they were saying, for anybody that don't know.
Broke into our country. Instead of holding illegal aliens accountable and removing them from our country, which is what this administration is trying to do every day, the Democrats want to give them the free benefits paid for by the American taxpayer. Democrats in 2025 are for illegal aliens first and Americans last. This is the reality we are unfortunately facing right now in Washington, D.C.
I just want to say, like that, when I first ran across this, when they were fussing and fighting in the town hall meetings and having hearings in Chicago, the citizens of Chicago was outraged, and they really were putting them before them in the beginning. I mean, I remember what they were saying, but we gonna get to it. I'm gonna let her finish, and we gonna go straight to that where Brandon, the mayor, was being drilled.
President Trump and Republicans will not give in to these radical demands. The president and Republicans have a sacred responsibility to serve and protect the interests of their constituents, the American people. That's why we are backing a clean and nonpartisan funding bill with no strings attached to reopen the government. Democrats should do what they did 13 separate times under Joe Biden and vote for this exact same type of funding bill. Now the Senate will vote tonight for the 5th time to reopen the government on the 6th day of this shutdown. All we need are an additional 5 Democrat senators to end this madness and vote for the clean funding bill to reopen the government. If you are in America,
and the thing about it, they don't agree with it, and they want to come to an agreement. They want to talk, and they won't talk to them. They actually been on vacation, so that is the problem that they're saying, and that's what makes sense.
And watching at home right now, call your Democrat senators and tell them to do the right thing and end this shutdown. With that, I will take your questions. Here in our new media seat today, we have Elizabeth Mitchell from the Daily Signal. Elizabeth, thanks for being here, and please kick us off.
Thank you for having me. I have 2 questions. First, President Trump told reporters yesterday that firings of federal employees are taking place right now. In which departments have people already been fired from their federal jobs due to the shutdown?
The president was referring to the hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have been furloughed as a result of this federal government shutdown, both here at the White House and across the entire federal government, at agencies across the board. There are federal workers who are staying home. Many of them work in the White House. You know them. Some of them sit just behind me at those desks. They are unable to show up to work right now because the Democrats chose to shut the government down. And so we're already, unfortunately, seeing the consequence of this. And then, of course, the Office of Management and Budget is continuing to work with agencies on who, unfortunately, is going to have to be laid off if this shutdown continues.
And Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the FDA was required by federal law to approve the new abortion pill last week. Is the administration considering steps to undo this in light of requests from pro-life Congress members and organizations?
I think Secretary Kennedy and the Department of Health and Human Services, as I addressed in the briefing last week, we're following the law, and we will continue to do so. As I said last week as well, it's not an endorsement of this drug by any means. It's just a law that they were following. Jennifer.
We heard you say that you want people to call their Democratic senators. Is the president calling Democratic senators himself? Can you say what he's doing today to resolve the shutdown?
Yep, I was just in the Oval Office. He was on the phone with Speaker Johnson. He's also spoken with the Senate Majority Leader, who are in touch with, of course, moderate Democrats and Democrats across the board, who we understand hopefully want to do the right thing by their constituents to reopen the government. So the president is being kept very well apprised of the ongoing shutdown on Capitol Hill. And of course, his position is very clear. There's nothing to negotiate, just reopen the government, and then we can talk about all the important issues facing our country.
So he hasn't called specific members of Congress?
Not to my knowledge, no.
And then on the Affordable Care Act, is he willing to give more, to share more on what he'd like to negotiate on the Affordable Care Act later? Is he willing to say specifically what he would like and when?
But look, the president is definitely committed to fixing and improving our healthcare system. You saw it again last week when he...
Can y'all please double tap the screen or hit the 3 dots to the upper right to get to the thumbs up button, please? So I want to play something right quick that a person from Chicago had to say about all of this.
See, I'm pissed off.
Now, his name is J. Ma Green. Actually, he ran for mayor. I forgot what year it was, but it was a few years ago. He was like in his 20s, maybe 23 at the time. And he was really involved in the Kanika Jenkins case. So I've been following him since 2017, and he's also he's an activist, so he's involved in a lot of the on what's going on in Chicago. So let's hear what he got to say.
Pissed off because a lot of people out. See, I'm pissed off because a lot of people out there are acting like they don't understand what is actually happening in the city of Chicago in regards to the ICE raids. Let me tell you something. Black people, again, are collateral damage in this. And all the black people that are getting mad at ICE and Donald Trump, hold on, you got to get mad at the politicians right here locally, because it was the politicians right here in your city that decided to dump the migrant issue on the black community like they do every single time. When they came across the border and checked the asylum over into our city and get incentives like free transportation, free child care, we fed them. Come over into our city and get incentives like medical care, 6 months free rent, free transportation, free child care. We fed them each and every.
Now, this, I was tripping out about this when it was happening. I didn't understand what was going on. They were a sanctuary city. They were put them in buildings and stuff where the black people were. They even put them in like old school buildings that they actually, people in the community wanted to reopen so they kids could go to the schools in their area and not have to be bused or go too far.
Every day. And those people that they were giving assistance to, they didn't go up to the north side and to the white community. All of the people out there protesting that are white, they didn't open up their doors for them, and they didn't want none of the shelters on their neighborhood. Guess where they opened up the shelters? In the black community. Those same school buildings that they shut down in 2013 that were educating black kids, they took those school buildings and they made them migrant shelters. And then they gave over $700 million to a company out in Florida to manage those shelters. They took the buildings that
I'm gonna let y'all hear some more people. We gotta listen to the people that's in Chicago that's actually doing the work and actually approaching these people in office that don't do what they say they were going to do.
Asking for to be developed and build new housing, and they made them into migrant homes, giving them 6 months of free rent. They dumped the problem on black community like they do every single time. When it was George Floyd riots, they closed downtown and pushed people to loot into the neighborhoods because they knew that people didn't care. Where was all the people right now? They weren't in our neighborhoods helping us open up, back up our businesses. They were not in our neighborhoods helping us clean up. They weren't in our neighborhoods when we were fighting for Laquan McDonald, who was shot 16 times by Jason Van Dyke. I didn't see them at the protest. But now, right now, they want to make black people a part of the fight. When they made us collateral damage in the first place, we are always losing.
That's the thing. That right there is the main thing. They made them collateral damage in the first place. Put them in the areas, mixed them in, and then when they ran up in those apartments, they I don't like the way that was done. From what I'm hearing, they just normally when they have like they want to execute a raid or something, normally they know who they're going after and where they are and who to get, but they just pretty much shook down the whole apartment and zip tied the kids together separate from the family. That stuff was true. I heard that they did, but what I didn't hear, which I heard later, is that they found the Trinde Aguagua gang members they were looking for, and the black people were released. Now, I don't know, that is still traumatizing. It's still traumatizing, but the leaders is the ones that allowed this to happen in the beginning. They was 10 toes down, and y'all gonna see in the meetings, because I'm like, why are they doing this? I didn't get it. And that's why I say it's like one, the what we had Democrats, they alley-ooped Republicans to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then also the first time that Trump campaigned, it was to build the wall. The wall was never built. Then Biden comes in and let him in, or whichever way it went. And now we're here. Like, it makes no sense, right? Not to me, it don't.
That's why ICE is raiding buildings where black people are.
I guess you know everything, Jack. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can get the hell out. You don't tell me how to talk. The hell?
It's because they put them
Your
there.
dumb
They
ass.
pay for their rent. They pay for their food. They pay for their child care. They pay for everything, but they didn't put them where they live. They put them where black people live because they don't want to invest into the community. So that's the easiest place to dump a problem. So, yes, we can say ICE is being aggressive. Yes, we know that armed forces are always aggressive more to us. But what we can say is that our politicians did it to us. They should have never allowed them to come over here in droves like they did. And then when they did come over here, they should have never put them and dumped them in black communities, acting like we didn't want economic development, like we didn't deserve better schools and deserve community centers and deserve grocery stores. We deserve better. And our politicians need to act like it. Stop putting everything before us. See, I'm pissed.
Okay, and that's straight from Chicago, somebody that's highly involved. And I seen this stuff happening. So, yeah, let her finish, and then I'm going to go to that.
Had one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world coming into the Oval Office and promising to lower drug prices by 200, 300, 100% in many cases for various types of drugs for American patients. That is a huge fix to a broken system that has been ripping off the American people for far too long. So the president's very committed to this. But right now, we need to reopen the federal government. And the president is remaining very firm.
And shout out to the 651 people in the building. If y'all could please double tap the screen. We have a goal of 300 thumbs up. If y'all could help us reach our goal today, please and thank you. It's free.
In that position. Catherine.
If the vote fails in the Senate today to reopen the government, would that trigger layoffs?
Look, again, we hope that the vote will not fail because this administration wants to reopen the government. We don't want to see people laid off. But unfortunately, if this shutdown continues, layoffs are going to be an unfortunate consequence of that.
Is there a timing for when that would happen?
Well, look, we'll see how the vote goes tonight.
And can you confirm, is the White House floating a proposal to cap Obamacare subsidies by denying them to new
That's off my
enrollees?
screen.
I have not seen a proposal like that. Emily.
Thanks, Caroline. The president said yesterday he was considering a phase 2 approach to Venezuela. Is the president considering U.S. boots on the ground or any kind of support of overthrowing Maduro?
I won't get into any specific proposals that are being considered by the president and his national security team, but I think we've been pretty transparent and clear in the administration's view of the illegitimate Maduro regime, and the president has taken very unprecedented, tough action to end the illegal trafficking of illicit drugs into our country from Maduro's illegitimate regime. Danny, go ahead.
Thanks, Caroline. The French government has collapsed again for the fourth time in a year. And I was just wondering if there's any concern in the White House about the kind of ongoing political crisis there. Any thought about whether the President Trump's good friend, President Macron, should either call elections
Thank you, Ms.
or
Patty.
resign over that?
Well, I can tell you the White House and the National Security Council are very much aware of this situation, but I think it would be imprudent of me to weigh in on French internal politics from the podium, so I will reserve.
I'm looking at 671 on the politics channel with 67 thumbs up. Can y'all hit the thumbs up? Well, I think it's 471 with 68 thumbs up. Can y'all double tap the screen or hit the 3 dots to hit the thumbs up? It's free. We need to get to 300 before we end this video.
Comment on that.
Help us out,
Behind
y'all.
you, yes.
What is President Trump's expectations for talks today and I guess this week in Egypt? And is there a new timeline that the president is giving all sides to reach an agreement?
Yes, there are technical talks happening right now in Egypt amongst Special Envoy Witkoff and Mr. Kushner, as well as their respective parties from all sides. What we saw take place on Friday, and I have not commented on that from the podium yet, is truly remarkable. You've seen all sides of this conflict agree that this war needs to end and agree to the 20-point framework that President Trump proposed. it's an incredible achievement, and the administration is working very hard to move the ball forward as quickly as we can. The president wants to see a ceasefire. He wants to see the hostages released, and the technical teams are discussing that as we speak to ensure that the environment is perfect to release those hostages. They're going over the lists of both the Israeli hostages and also the political prisoners who will be released. And those talks are underway, and the president is very much on the ball and is being apprised of this situation.
The president had given a Sunday evening deadline. Obviously, the negotiations have extended that, I imagine. What is that new deadline? Does the president have a time frame in mind to see this phase implemented?
Well, the Sunday evening deadline was to hear back from Hamas on the proposal one way or another. And of course, on Friday, Hamas put out a very clear statement in the president's view that they accept the president's framework. And that's why those technical talks are now underway. But again, we want to move very quickly on this. And the president wants to see the hostages released as soon as possible. Steve.
How long do you expect those technical talks to last, Caroline?
I don't want to draw a red line up here, Steve. Of course, it's very important, as I just mentioned, that we get this done quickly. That's how the president's team feels, so we can get some momentum, get the hostages out, and then move to the next part of this, which is really ensuring that we can create a lasting and durable peace in Gaza, and ensure that Gaza is a place that no longer threatens the security of Israel or the United States.
What do you expect to be on the agenda for the president's meeting with the Prime Minister of Canada tomorrow?
I'm sure trade will be a topic of discussion tomorrow, and all of the other issues that are facing both Canada and the United States. I know the president looks forward to having that discussion with Carney in the Oval Office. Caitlin.
Thanks, Caroline. I have two questions. On the layoff of federal workers, potentially, the president said yesterday that Democrats will be to blame if federal workers lose their jobs. Historically, though, in past shutdowns, workers have been furloughed, but they have not been laid off en masse. So wouldn't that be the president's call to lay people off?
As I've said repeatedly, Caitlin, this conversation about layoffs would not be happening right now if the Democrats did not vote to shut the government down. And as I also said last briefing as well, we are $37 trillion in debt, and the government is not receiving any cash. So someone has to look at the balance sheet and be good stewards of the American taxpayer dollar. And layoffs are an unfortunate consequence of that.
First term, for example.
Well, as I'm telling you now, this administration is focusing on checking the balance sheet and ensuring we're doing the right thing by the American taxpayer. And again, these conversations about layoffs would not be happening in the White House today if not for the Democrat shutdown. And they have a choice to change that. They have another opportunity tonight to do the right thing to reopen the government. Joey.
Judge over the weekend. Sorry, my second question. A federal judge over the weekend that the president had appointed to the bench in his first term in office basically argued that he could not deploy other states' National Guards to Portland. Basically said that it was untethered, his argument, to what is actually happening on the ground. Which local officials in Portland have said that the National Guard is needed there?
With all due respect to that judge, I think her opinion is untethered in reality and in the law. The president is using his authority as commander-in-chief, U.S. Code 12406, which clearly states that the president has the right to call up the National Guard in cases where he deems it's appropriate. And if you look at what has happened in Portland, Oregon, for more than 100 nights, I was talking to our law enforcement team about it this morning, for more than 100 days, night after night after night, the ICE facility has been really under siege by these anarchists outside. They have been disrespecting law enforcement. They've been inciting violence. We saw, again, a guillotine rolled out in front of this federal building. And so the president wants to ensure that our federal buildings and our assets are protected. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. And ultimately, in the case in Los Angeles, that judge ruled in the Ninth Circuit that panel of judges ruled that those troops could remain and that the president was well within his authority to do so. So we are appealing that decision. As you know, we expect a hearing on it pretty quickly. And we're very confident in the president's legal authority to do this. And we're very confident we will win on the merits of the law.
But no local officials that you can point to that have said we need the National Guard. Because I spoke to the police chief of Portland last week. He said that the president's claims just don't match up with what's happening on the ground.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at for yourself, because there's been many members of the press, not press in this room, but independent journalists, some of whom we'll be inviting to the White House very soon to share their stories, because they have been in the middle of these riots and they have witnessed the anarchy that is taking place night after night. It's on video. You should play it on your show. You have a great opportunity on prime time on CNN to show your audience. Yeah, but you're probably talking to partisan Democrat officials who are opposed to everything this president does. You should also ask the people who live in Portland. We've actually heard from many members of the community who have said that this is complete civil disobedience. It's a mess. It's been loud. It's been troubling for neighbors in the community who are just trying to live peacefully. And these people are not there to peacefully protest. They are there to cause mayhem and havoc.
Yeah, Caroline.
Stephen, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. Two questions. First, do you have a reaction to reports that thousands of Cuban troops are deployed alongside Russia fighting in Ukraine? And on a very different matter, the president last week floated in an interview with our colleague Daniel from One America a rebate for tariffs of up to $2,000 per person. Is that plan contingent on the Supreme Court's upcoming ruling on the legality of the tariffs? And is the White House preparing for legislation to make that happen?
Sure. On the first point, I have not seen that report, Stephen, but I'll check in with our national security team after this and we'll get you an update. To your second point about the tariff rebates, I think it's an idea that the president has discussed and floated with his team of advisors, but no decision has been firmly made at this point in time. Why don't we go to the back? Owen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
A few days ago, President Trump demanded Jay Jones of Virginia get out of the race for condoning political violence in a text message against a Republican politician a few years ago. He hasn't left the race. He hasn't dropped out. What's the president's reaction?
Well, as you know, I'm not at liberty to discuss political races from the podium. I think the president himself made his position very clear, and I think anyone could agree the messages that were sent by this Democrat nominee for Attorney General in Virginia are really shocking, alarming, and completely unacceptable. He was threatening to kill his opponent and his opponent's children, and that type of rhetoric has zero place in our country, and the president was absolutely right to condemn that.
One more, please.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you. The Democrats have questioned and scrutinized the president's comments about using potentially the military, American cities, as training grounds for the military. And when you look at Portland, Chicago, local and state officials say that their local law enforcement is able to handle the situations, these protests on the ground. The president says that Portland is burning, using that as justification for the National Guard in Portland. But when you look here in Washington, D.C., the president just last week said it is now a completely safe city. And there are still National Guard members on the streets that are not involved in ICE activities. Can you provide the justification for the White House here in Washington, D.C., why the National Guard members continue to be out on the streets?
Because Washington, D.C. has invited the National Guard here. Why? Because the mayor is doing the right thing, unlike mayors in other cities like Portland, as Caitlin and others have pointed out, who refuse to see that there are positive results from when local law enforcement works with federal law enforcement to do the right thing on behalf of their citizens. And Washington, D.C. is no doubt a safer city right now today than it was a few months ago when President Trump started this initiative to make D.C. safe again. And the National Guard is still here because the president and the mayor agree that it's a good thing for the city, just like you're seeing in Memphis. For instance, we'll have National Guard deployed to Memphis. We have federal agents who are on the ground working with state and local law enforcement. The state police in Tennessee are part of this effort. The local metropolitan police in Memphis are part of this effort. State and local law enforcement and federal law enforcement should be working together. And it's a shame that we see in some cities across the country that their mayors are just simply refusing to cooperate because they don't like Donald Trump. And that's what this boils down to. And I don't think any American would disagree that Chicago needs more law enforcement reinforcements, that they need more resources. Look at this headline from over the weekend. At least 30 people shot during the weekend in Democrat-run Chicago. 5 of them were killed in one weekend. This is completely unacceptable, and the president wants to make American cities safer, and he's willing to work with anyone to do it.
If the courts allow you to ultimately send in the National Guard into Chicago and Portland, do Democrats not have reason to be concerned that there are long-term plans by this administration to keep U.S. military or the National Guard in American cities, like what we're seeing here in Washington?
Why should they be concerned about the federal government offering help to make their cities a safer place? They should be concerned about this. They should be concerned about the fact that people in their cities right now are being gunned down every single night. And the president, all he's trying to do is fix it. And there has been a complete smear campaign by the Democrats and the media, quite frankly. I was reading Political Playbook this morning, one of the most inside the Beltway newsletters you can find. And you guys are framing this like the president wants to take over the American cities with the military. The president wants to help these local leaders who have been completely ineffective in securing their own cities. And we have already seen there's a positive formula for that. Look at Washington, D.C. The murder rate has declined significantly. Our streets are safer. People who live here feel safer. All of you in this room, I know you do. You just won't admit it. And it's a proven system that works. And the president wants to make America's cities safe again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Michael.
Thank you, Caroline. Two questions, if I may.
Because the mayor wants them. Michael.
These talks in Egypt, if Hamas does agree to relinquish power and give it up, cede power to this transitional technocratic government, if that does happen, would the Trump administration then recognize a Palestinian state?
Look, I don't want to get ahead of the technical talks right now, Michael. They're extremely sensitive. They're taking place again as we speak, and there's a lot of there's many things to discuss. Of course, this is hopefully we expect and we hope going to be one of the greatest peace deals this world has ever seen. And the Trump administration is working diligently and working very hard to get there. And as I said, Friday, all terms agreed. We have the Arab countries who are working with us. Of course, Israel has been incredible in cooperating with the president's plan and agreeing to it. And we're very hopeful, and we expect that to continue.
You tweeted about this over the weekend.
Thank you. I was going to you in the blue shirt and tie.
Thank you,
Yes,
Caroline.
you're
John
welcome.
Michael, the Daily Mail. Today, the Supreme Court declined to hear Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal. Will Trump rule out granting her clemency? Is that something the White House is considering?
It's not something I've heard discussed. And we don't comment on clemency requests that may or may not have been made, but I'm certainly not tracking that one at this point in time.
Caroline.
Jordan, go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. So we're talking about these radical groups in Portland and Chicago. I know the president has spoken about potentially going after George Soros with RICO charges and for funding all of this violence. Has there been any update on that? And also, is the administration looking into the other nonprofits, maybe taking away their 501c3 status for funding this violence? And one more question.
Sure. The financial backing of these groups, particularly Antifa, is certainly something the administration is looking into aggressively. And the federal government has never really been mobilized or tasked with doing that. So we're kind of kickstarting that into gear. The FBI is working on it alongside the White House's Homeland Security Task Force. We have our intelligence community looking into this as well. And even the Secretary of Treasury is involved with these matters since they are financial in nature. And we will continue to get to the bottom of who is funding these organizations in this organized anarchy against our country and our government. It's a question the American people have been begging the answer for many years, and we're committed to uncovering it. And when we do, I'm sure you'll be one of the first people to know.
Separately, Caroline.
Thank you. So Gaza, under the president's plan, is going to be governed by a transitional governance of a technocratic, apolitical Palestinian committee made up of qualified Palestinians and international experts. Now, given how radicalized the Palestinian population is in Gaza and in the West Bank, can you offer some insight or guidance into who are some of these Palestinians that are going to be considered for leadership roles in Gaza, and where are you going to be finding them, and do you have any names?
We're not quite there yet, Jonathan. The president believes peace is possible in Gaza, and that's why he presented this detailed and comprehensive plan. The first step of that is securing a ceasefire and releasing the hostages. And then those conversations about ensuring a durable and lasting peace can continue. But what do you need to have peace in a region like Gaza that's been war-torn for far too long? You need security guarantees and you need good governance. And so those will be two of the priorities that this administration is focused on.
If I may, the president has said he wants the government to reopen this week in a deal. What's going to happen by the end of the week if there's no deal? What's the White House prepared to do?
With no deal with what?
To reopen the government.
Look, as I said, unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of pain inflicted. There already is on the American public, on our troops who are not being paid, again, on women and young children who depend on critical food assistance. We hate to see this. And in fact, the Office of Management and Budget is trying to do everything they can to find funds to get out the door for these vulnerable populations in our country. Again, we shouldn't be having to do that. The Democrats have a chance to change course tonight. I believe the vote's taking place at 6:30, and we urge Democrat senators to vote to reopen the government and to do the right thing. Thanks, guys.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these.
Okay, let me get off of mute. Shout out to everybody in the building. So I want to talk about where we are now, and we're going to circle back to Chicago and what the residents of Chicago said a year ago before they actually came in, or right when they were in the midst of bringing them in. And yeah, they was going in. Let me tell you, a lot of people in Chicago really participate in the town hall meetings. They're in their face. They saying whatever they feel, however they feel, and they ain't holding back no punches. But as far as today and where we are, let me go to this right quick.
Know your rights. ISIS in the area. Avoid it.
So you have people out active and letting people know what's going on in the streets. And also I ran across this.
Wake up! Know your rights. ISIS in the area.
So y'all see the police, the regular police got pepper sprayed by ICE.
Get him! What's up? What's up?
They wasn't getting him. And then also I was pointing out that there when they were putting him in the car, there was a black woman walking by totally unbothered. You know, so there also was a lady, at least one lady that spoke out that said that they lying, and she lived in the area where they were at, and she was just saying that they was gaslighting everything up, you know, as far as the apartment building. But anyway, so what we're covering, and this is actually coming from CNN. It says so it's day 6 of the shutdown, and the senators are returning to the Capitol today, tasked with striking a deal to fund the federal government and end the shutdown that has sent ripple effects across the country. And you see a lot of people out. And it's a lot of people being hurt, dragged, unalived. I mean, it's all kind of stuff happening. There's also a bunch of crimes still happening behind the Charlie Kirk incident. A lot of it is not being talked about, not on a high level. And so also it says the White House digs in. President Trump has embraced the political battle. He told CNN over the weekend that Republicans are winning. And I mean, it just depends on what you're looking at and what you call winning, I guess. And then it says the standoff, though, quiet concerns have emerged in his orbit of potential political damage. And how we got here, Democrats want Republicans to extend enhance Obamacare subsidies as part of any stopgap funding bill, while the GOP says the issue should wait until the end of the year. Trump has threatened waves of retaliation, of layoffs and firings too, I've heard, and in addition to the federal workers already furloughed. And so that's what they have as far as where we are. Wait, Schumer and Toon didn't speak over the weekend amid the shutdown. That was 38 minutes ago, they're reporting. And then the White House again seeks to blame Democrats for potential federal layoffs amid shutdown. And we do know that the Republicans, they have the House, the Senate, the everything, right? They in charge. And the shutdown didn't have to happen. They're saying that they didn't meet, they went on vacation, all kind of stuff. But let's get to what the people of Chicago, the black folks of Chicago, had to say before all of the immigrants came in. And I mean, it just seems like they had a big issue with this mayor, period. Welcome in, everybody. Thank y'all to everybody that's hitting the thumbs up. But we do have a goal, a quick goal of 300, but ultimately we want to get to 1,000. And there's no reason why we can't. Shout out to the over 300 or 600 people in the building right now. And welcome in to everybody. WD, really? Black folks in Chicago want Trump to fix this. Okay, yeah, let's go to what they had to say. Now, this particular video, let me look at it. This is from, let's see. This is from, as soon as I can find it. I'll find it better another way on my phone. Oh, as a matter of fact, this is from December 4th, 2024. It says this woman called on Tom Homan to make an example out of this. I guess she called the mayor an N-word. Brandon, it says Mayor Brandon Johnson, these city council meetings are not a lot for him. What? Okay, let's just play it. Hold on.
You all sit up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. You campaign and double down that you would not raise property taxes.
I won't raise your property taxes.
You wanted to raise our taxes $300 million. They shut it down. Now we back here for $150 million. Okay. See, this is what we asking now. Since you want to crash out, some of y'all said y'all willing to go to jail for it. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this Negro right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want a forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you keep your, hold on a second. Stop her time. Stop her time. Just a second. Stop her.
This might have been one of the women Trump was talking about, begging them to come there. Let me tell you, they was into it big time.
Ma'am, I would ask that you, if you want to continue speaking, you have to make sure that your language is appropriate, okay? All right.
Alex.
Okay, you can begin her time again.
You're going to spend our tax dollars to go, Michael Rodriguez, you said to take Trump to court to protect these illegals. That's cool, because we about to make all of y'all aldermen famous. Y'all think this is how it's going to ride? I think not. Flip Chicago red. We not playing.
This was going to happen to you. You got Kash Patel and Pam Bundy that you're going to have to deal with sooner than later. Then it's going to be an audit. Next, it's going to be an investigation. Then it's going to be an indictment. Conviction. That's what's going to happen to you.
Mr. Brandon Johnson, I'm up here. I am speaking right now, so I would love your undivided attention, please. I'll wait. So this just proves to you the lack of leadership that you show in this city. You can't even give me straight eye contact. Now, I'm gonna let you know now, the people of Chicago, we're done with you. It is insane how we have been voting Democrat for over 60 plus years, and we've never seen a change from people like you, Lori Lightfoot, Robbie Manuel. It is insane. Chicago was 37% red. In 2020, it was only 15%. So we're waking up. So you can pretend that this isn't happening, but I know for a fact that you will not have that seat the next election.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
I got a great way how we can what we can do with this budget. First, let's start with cutting off illegals, getting free everything. Free housing, free schooling, free food. Yeah, let's start with that. That'll save us a lot of money. What, 600 million? Let's start there. Then let's start with your salary. You are going down in history as the worst mayor in America. Let's start with cutting yours. You making too much money. Let's start there. You Democrats, and you remember you told us to defund the police? Remember, you ran on that. Remember, you was the defund the police? Let's start with that. Let's defund the police detail that you have. And let's put the police back in our neighborhood, because we're not for defunding the police. Won't you just practice what you preach? Remove all the details. We saw you coming in today. You had all the police presence. So let's take some of that away.
I told y'all, Chicago, at least the people that's speaking, they are done with them, and we ain't done yet. So we gonna keep going. It's more to this. This might be the beginning. Yeah, this is the beginning of something. Chicago flips red.
So it has already been determined that you don't follow the United States Constitution. And maybe that's perhaps because you're not a founding father and your name is not on the document. So perhaps if we show you something that your name is on, maybe you'll follow those rules. We got a rules of order and procedure, City Council, City of Chicago, for 2023 to 2027, with your name on it. However, we sit in here all the time and watch you violate our rights. We sit in here all the time and watch you allow City Council to violate our rights. Now we're gonna talk about this budget, about the strange things that's happening. Because again, your name.
So why do y'all think they allowed this to happen in the beginning, and now the people have been over the leaders of Chicago? And I just want to say thank y'all for the ones that are hitting the thumbs up. We only have 60 thumbs up on the crime channel, and we have 162 thumbs up, now on the politics channel. So can we please, we have 90, can 90 people on the crime channel hit the thumbs up, and can 543 people on the politics channel please hit the thumbs up? And thank you to the people that did. About 10 people just hit the thumbs up. Thank y'all so much. It's so very important. And let me see, we got 43 votes on here that y'all hit the thumbs up. I don't know about that, but we gonna keep going.
What's on this
I'm gonna put the number up too if anybody want to call in.
Executive order of May 2023. This executive order for immigration, migrants, and refugee rights. You caused all this money to go to illegal immigrants.
If we get the thumbs up, I should say.
Not Harold Washington. You gonna be held accountable for it. And we want a forensic audit of the money that was spent on illegal immigration. You all are trying to do everything but that, when in fact, that's where all the money went. So anything that you all pass, It's not genuine. It's not honest.
They are over them. And John said, welcome in, John. He said, because they finally woke up to the truth that people been telling them for years. Sometimes you have to go through things to see them at face value. Man, I was sitting up here like, I just don't understand why they allowed it and why would you do that when you know the people in the community been asking for those buildings for their own use and then they just put them before them. And I just thought that was very unfair. I mean, but I guess is this just politics here? Because it just don't make sense. It really don't. What is you talking about, Roscoe? Chicago, B Pat says Chicago is sick of corrupt politicians not putting citizens first. Absolutely, that's what I'm hearing.
Because you're trying to cover up where our money actually went. Now, it's been some strange voting going on. Let's talk about the fact that Taliaferro and Sergio Lopez, got extra money. Could it be?
Y'all, please help us reach our goal of 300 thumbs up. We need them right now. And if you're on a replay, please hit that hype button. That helps get us out there too.
Because Byron Sergio Lopez wrote a letter on my behalf to help with my case. And so did Taliaferro. Could it be that they were told that they could get more votes if they blew my case? Now, let's look at Alderman David Moore, who have been in here and listened to me talk about my probate all the time and haven't done anything. Could it be he planning a seminar with Lori and them, while at the same time selling me out? Because he's supposed to be getting a field house for his ward. We got something for you. Fridays, famous Friday. And we got another one. This is Chicago Flip Red. Chicago Red got you too. You got Chicago Red and you got Chicago Flip Red. And both of us getting that. So now, who's going to be famous Friday? Pull this name real fast. Carlos Ramirez Rosa. Yeah!
Thank you very much for your comments. However, your time has expired. Our next speaker is Sharon Abbott.
Brandon Johnson, first of all, I hate to break your heart. I didn't vote for you. I'm a lifelong conservative. Nevertheless, your job is to represent all of the people of Chicago and not your own personal interests. On May 15, 2020, you took your oath of office and solemnly swore to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you would faithfully discharge the duties of the office of mayor to the best of your ability. The U.S. Constitution, Article 4, Section 4, states that the United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of these against invasion. The preamble of the U.S. Constitution states that we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, and provide for the common defense. Likewise, the Illinois Constitution reiterates that the people formed our government with its primary role being to ensure domestic tranquility and provide for the common defense.
Okay, let me see what y'all saying. Trump is the king. Is Chicago red pro-Trump? It looked like they was that day. And these ladies can say what they want, but the mayor has an agenda and nothing is going to deter him. JD Vance, 48. The white and black unity is a myth which will not last long. What you mean by that? Tell us more. She know read too good. You know type too good. The hell is we talking about here? Like the R. Kelly trial episode, War 1975 was horrible for Americans. Gas lines miles long. Let's go, Team Trump. What the hell is wrong with these damn people? This is why I don't be reading the comments, man. Shout out to Mr. Niner and my BFF. Shout out to Ross Rose. I lived in the 70s when Reagan became president. The whole country changed for the better. Who will bring the deep state's accountability to democracy? They bots. They ignorant as hell. Like, goodness. I wish these bots would hit the thumbs up. 30% tax of 50K, 15K worth. Up it left. Back at you, baby girl. All right, let them keep fussing. Like, they not playing with these people though. And so I'm wondering, how are these people feeling now that the troops have come in and all of this? And I don't know, are they there or not there? I heard I heard that he said that he couldn't have the troops deployed to wherever, all these different places, right? So because he couldn't have certain troops from that area, he just sent in troops from other states after he was told not to do it. So, and I know it sounds confusing, but y'all probably already know what I'm talking about. The judge blocked him from going to Portland, right? And then he turned around and sent different National Guards in somewhere. But let me get the story straight. I'm gonna let this play.
Brandon Johnson, you violated your oath of office. You have not supported the U.S. Constitution nor the Illinois Constitution. You have not protected the people of Chicago from invasion nor ensured domestic tranquility. You have also ignored the Declaration of Independence, which declares that governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. No one appointed a monarch to rule over the people of Chicago. Rather, as mayor, your duty is to serve the public, and you are bound by the parameters of the Constitution only to act by the consent of the people. Members of City Council, you likewise took an oath of office to support the U.S. and Illinois Constitution. You are also bound by the parameters of the Constitution only to act by the consent of the people.
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker is David Mason.
We have to remember history, because the number one thing that we know for certain is that history always repeats itself. So, Mr. Johnson, I know that you can appreciate with me giving you a history lesson with you being a former social studies teacher from Elgin. Well, you plan on going back to the classroom anyway. That was the whole purpose with you taking a leave of absence, right? Well, besides the mental reason. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. But let's go ahead and talk about history repeating itself. Let's talk about taxation. Chicago has a tax for everything. Water tax, grocery tax, tourist tax, hotel tax, bag tax, liquor tax, cigarette tax, the highest sales tax in the country by far, parking tax, surcharge of downtown parking, property lease tax, and streamer tax. The only thing that you all don't have a tax for yet is oxygen tax. And the only reason why you don't have a tax for that just yet is because you ain't figured out how to do it yet. But let me not speak too soon, because you probably might actually think it's a good idea and you're going to try to write it down. So let's go ahead and talk about, let's not forget about the good old sugar tax. Y'all remember y'all used to back in 2016 and you go to your favorite grocery store and you buy your favorite 24-pack of pop? Well, you paying more taxes on that pop than what the actual cost of it is. What you didn't know is that your buddy Brandon Johnson voted for that sugar tax. So it's not a surprise that he wants to pour a $40 million line of credit,
fix the mic,
and put the city in even more debt than what we already owe with the $1.2 billion deficit. Maybe. But it's your fault that because you gave half the money to illegals. Also, it's lazy government is what you call it. So let's not forget that we gotta watch these politics. And I was at that Board of Czar meeting, and Tom Homan said out of his mouth that it is illegal to harbor and conceal illegal aliens. So like I told you before, that you ain't gonna blink, well, we ain't gonna flinch either. Now, I'm gonna tell you another thing. All you illegals, you ain't gonna have no Merry Christmas. You're gonna have a Merry Deportation Christmas.
And here we are before
Thank you very much
Halloween.
for your comments. Our next speaker is Robert Thierry.
So again, none of this stuff is new. Okay, this was I think this was like a year ago. I'm gonna check the date because this is a different one. But yeah, all this stuff been brewing for a long time. Oh, here's the date right here, December 16th, 2024. It's been brewing, and it ain't even December yet. A whole year, dang near. They've been going through this.
Hello, thank you for letting me have this opportunity to speak. My name is Robert Thierry. In 2017, I became homeless and disabled. But this year, there was an October 7th attack on two of Chicago's homeless people. Mr. Paul Williams and David Swick were both executed for being homeless. And David Swick was also disabled.
Wait a minute.
y'all
know that just recently happened, I think, in DC. Like 4 people, an encampment or something was caught on fire, and a couple homeless people died after they had tore down the encampments in DC. I remember hearing that happened right after that. And another thing, the Epstein statue has been put back up in front of the Capitol or the National Mall or wherever it was at. They put it back up. And y'all know when they took it down, they sawed it like Trump's face, like right at his eyes was sawed. The holding hands was sawed. They done mended it all back together and put it right back up. I don't know what's going on, but they had a permit. They had a permit.
Protesting because homeless lives matter. On November 14th, I was attacked by the owner of the JJ Fish. I have video footage on my cell phone. I did not fight back. They made a false report on me saying that I assaulted them. I was told I could not press charges because I was the assailant on the false report. So November 21st, I went to headquarters at a town hall meeting. And the next day, November 22nd, a detective was assigned. I kept calling him. I didn't get through to him till November 26th. I requested him to look at the video footage at Nikki's across the street from 7828. Actually, 7829 is Nikki's address. He said he would get back to me on Saturday. I didn't get back to him. I had to call him on December 2nd. And I sent him my video on my cell phone. And again, I requested him to look at the video footage at the Nikki's. But instead, he went to JJ Fish and called me on December 6th. He called me. He told me to go talk to the owner of Nikki's, that the owner wants to make amends with me. And I told him, no, I wasn't going to do that. He then said, if you don't drop the charges against him, then I will arrest you for harassing the owner of JJ Fish. I said, no, I want to press charges. I want to go order of protection on him. He hung up
What lie you think they pushing with the statue, John?
the phone on me. JJ Fish shows a history of total disregard for human life and violence against a disabled citizen of Chicago. Please look into this matter and shut down JJ Fish at 7828 Southwestern Avenue. Thank you.
What? We got an ICE reporter.
Thank you very much for your comments.
Ham is going ham right now talking about ICE and stuff. What are you saying? Leave my people in the chat alone. Let them rock. Let them live. Y'all can have y'all opinions and, talk it out.
Our next speaker is the Chicago conservative.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
You spent over $574 million on illegal immigrants here in Chicago, Illinois since 2022.
Whoa.
Now, you still feel like you have to harbor these illegals, which is not a good idea. And in my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to challenge Tom Homan.
Now, I wonder how many of them got caught up in that dang apartment building with them, because they were saying all of this last year to try to prevent everything, and he just standing there like, I mean, this is just wild. The city is not behind them. Did y'all know that the city of Chicago was not behind them on this immigration?
On this, because he's trying to clean up our cities, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Now,
well, what I don't get is why they became a sanctuary city. I remember, and I'm gonna go to that because he was talking and he said like a bus full of them arrived from Texas. And so I don't know why they arrived. I mean, obviously they must have agreed to take them, but how did that work? I'm trying to understand. They should have just turned them away, right? But they gave them also voting rights, I heard. I don't know how true that is. It's something shady with that, though.
Let me just remind everybody here that Brandon Johnson is terrible with the budget. How is this $40 million credit line is going to work exactly? Because the key word is credit. So how much will we be using from this $40 million? And the real question is, how much will we be paying back? Now, you want to sit here, you and JB Pritzker want to puff out your chest and fight Tom Homan. We need Tom Homan here in Chicago. We need Donald Trump. And I don't want to see people like Pam Bundy and Kash Patel, haul up out of here and become prosecuted. I don't want to see that happen. But they will do their job if they have to, Brandon Johnson. Now, we are $1 billion in debt. That's absolutely insane. Kamala Harris, she spent $1 billion on her campaign less than a year, and she's $20 million in debt. So it's looking like Democrats are bad with money. Now, you ignored me for 10 to 15 seconds last time I was speaking, and I really did not appreciate that at all. But I got a Christmas present for you. Let's remind the people of Chicago that Brandon Johnson spent $32,000 in campaign funds on haircuts and makeup.
Whoa.
So I got an early Christmas present for you, Brandon Johnson. This is some makeup for you right here. You got some rouge. You got the makeup brush right there. So you can save this people some money, for crying out loud.
What?
Now, let me tell you people, I'm going to be serious here. We need to start voting different in these cities like New York and Chicago. Stop voting these people in. It's not Democrat versus Republican anymore. It is populist versus establishment. It is the populist versus the establishment. Stop letting them trick you into the race baiting when it comes to Brandon Johnson. Oh, black people need help too. Trump want to hurt black people. What are you talking about? We're legal here. We are legal. Now,
So forensics, I'm gonna go to one where he's sitting down and they talking to him about buying some things. I'm gonna see if I have that one in rotation.
I'm trying to be nice about this. And Mr. Brandon Johnson, I do respect you in a little bit of way because you're trying the best that you can. I really want to believe that. But listen, man, you got a 14% approval rating. So the people is looking like they're telling you that you're fired, man. So I'm just humbly asking you, Brandon Johnson, to please come up with something that's reasonable by the end of this year, because I don't want to see a government shutdown, Mr. Brandon Johnson. Please do your job. I don't care if you're black. Chicago needs to get rid of DEI. I don't care if you're black. Can you do the job? Can you do the job, Mr. Brandon Johnson? And it's looking like you can't do the job. So please don't fail us.
Thank you very much for your comments. Your Honor, there are no further speakers.
Now, one thing that I noticed in 2017 with the Kanika Jenkins case, Chicago is very involved. Like, I mean, you see that. In this city, our town hall meetings ain't packed like that, I'm sure, even though I've never been to one. But I'm sure it's not. I mean, they protest like just how they did for Kanika Jenkins, which is how I met a lot of these guys like Jedediah Brown and J. Ma Green. Those two specifically that I follow. And I'm gonna go back to J Ma because he's talking a little bit more about this too. But we gotta listen to what the people are saying that live in Chicago. I mean, I don't live there. But watching this, I was like, it makes no sense. What's going on? Why are they doing this? Why are they putting all these people in? I'm talking about thousands of them flooded Chicago. And then it just and snatch, they basically snatch food out of the black folks' mouth. Basically, that's what they said.
Have timely signed up for the public comment period.
Farewell. Thank you. Okay. Sergeant at Arms, please restore order.
We will not accept the fascist America. We refuse to let our immigrant brothers and sisters be rounded up in hard law. We will not tolerate it. What is needed in these times is mass protest and resistance.
Sergeant at Arms, please remove these individuals from the chambers.
They ready to fight. I guess they gonna fight it out. Yeah, ain't no order gonna get restored back. We just being nosy right now. We're fighting tooth and nail to continue doing nothing about the crime. Hold on, let me look for something while they're doing that.
Thank you. This chamber will come back to order. Thank you very much.
Not right now, y'all won't.
Members of the public, please. Members of the public, if you wish to stay in the chambers, please sit down and return the order.
They can't do it. Okay, here's something where they talking about gifts. Let's see what we can learn here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing on such an important topic. Mayor Johnson, I want to start with you. One of your first actions as mayor was establishing a deputy mayor for immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights. I want to ask you a series of questions. If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great. First of all, do you support allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no?
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes. Next question.
And that's the policy that we will hold to.
Do you support tax dollars subsidizing or paying for the health care of illegal aliens?
I support investments in all residents of the people of Chicago, and that's what I do.
That's a yes as well. Do you support free or reduced college for illegal aliens?
Again, I support the investments of all residents of the people of Chicago.
Take that as a yes. Next question. Do you support allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections?
Again, I'm not over the jurisdiction of that type of law, but again, I'm committed to investing in all residents of the people of Chicago.
I'll take that as a yes. I've got an article from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I'll quote here briefly.
Can I get on the crime side the 123 people that's over there to hit the thumbs up? We only have 83 over there, and thank you on the politics side for the 252, but we have 464 over here. So can y'all please hit the thumbs up. It's free, y'all. It is free 99. And it really helps us out. So if you support the channel, the content, and the host, please smack the thumbs up. And if you don't, leave. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Johnson proposed, among other things, that all residents,
So
regardless of
this one was March 5th, 2025.
citizenship status, be able to vote for Chicago Board of Education members. Next question. Your website states, and this is your campaign website, quote, "I will not stop fighting until abortion access is completely secure for people all over the country," end quote. Yes or no, do you support taxpayer-funded abortions for illegal aliens?
I support the reproductive rights of all people, all women.
That is a yes as well. Your mayoral transition website mentioned support for creating a Chicago Board of Education non-citizen advisory board. Again, yes or no, do you support appointing non-citizens to government advisory boards?
I was invited here today to discuss welcoming cities.
Yes or no?
I was invited here to discuss welcoming
This
cities.
is a yes or no
If you're
question.
interested in asking me
You're not
questions
gonna
about the
filibuster.
welcoming
I'll
city,
take that as a
I'm
yes.
happy to
We're gonna
answer
move
those
on.
questions.
No, we're going to move on. As you know, President Trump, unlike the previous administration, has taken serious action to bring foreign criminal gangs to justice, to take our border back, and to restore public safety in our communities. He designated 8 transnational criminal organizations and cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. These are groups like Tren de Aragua, MS-13, Sinaloa, other of some of the most grotesque and ruthless and brutal organizations in the world. You, as mayor of a sanctuary city, have been virtually giving favors to illegal aliens. Apparently, you support an enormous amount of taxpayer resources going to them as well. But you yourself have also received a lot of gifts. And for those of you who don't know, Mayor Johnson has a secret gift room that is not given access to the public or for access to the Office of Inspector General. I'd like to ask you a couple questions about that. Do you know everyone who's given you a gift since you became mayor?
The city of Chicago has had a policy for 40 years
yes or no question.
where there are individuals that would like to give gifts to
I'm
the
reclaiming
city
my
of
time.
Chicago,
I'm going to take that as
and we do
no.
not accept
When
those
did
gifts.
you
We
become
receive
mayor?
them on
No, I'm going to
behalf
reclaim my
of
time
the city
here.
of Chicago.
You're not going to filibuster here. When did you become mayor?
I was elected mayor of the city of Chicago in April of 2023, and I was sworn in May
That's good. On
15th
June
of
12th,
2023.
On June 12th, 2023, you received Hugo Boss cufflinks and a personalized Mont Blanc pin. Do you know who gave you those?
So I did not receive those personally. The city of Chicago
You received those
them.
on behalf
and
of
that's
the city of
right, on behalf of
Chicago.
the city of Chicago,
I
every
understand the
mayor
difference.
in the
Do you know
history of Chicago who has
do you know who
provided
gave those
gifts
to the city of Chicago? Do you know who gave those to the city of Chicago?
So again, on behalf of the city of Chicago, there
It's
are
a yes
gifts
or no
that are
question.
received,
Do
but I
you?
do not
Do you-
accept. Those are not
So you
my
don't-
personal
so
gifts.
you don't know.
Those are the gifts of the city of Chicago, and that's why you are aware that they exist because they're
reclaim
within the
my
law.
time here, sir. On March 18th, 2024, you received a Gucci tote bag. Do you know who gave you that? Gave the city of Chicago that?
Again, I was here and I was invited.
I'll also
to
take that as
respond
no.
to the
On March
questions
19th,
around
2024,
welcoming
the
city. I'm
city of
happy to answer
Chicago
any of those
received a
questions.
Givenchy bag, a Kate Spade purse, and Carucci shoes. Do you know who gave the city of Chicago those?
Again, I was brought.
I'll
I
take
brought
that as
my
a no.
energy
I'm
here
reclaiming my
to
time
respond
here, sir. I am
on behalf of the
reclaiming
city
my
of Chicago
time.
of
This
what a welcoming
raises
city
serious
ordinance
ethical
is.
concerns. You're providing an enormous amount of aid to illegal aliens, aiding and abetting criminals who have come into our country illegally. And you yourself are receiving an enormous amount of gifts, and you won't even tell us who they're coming from. That
Chairman,
raises
time is up.
serious ethical
We have
concerns.
a 5-minute rule.
Very, very interesting. So what do y'all think about that? Let me see what y'all saying. Y'all please smack the thumbs up if you didn't get a chance. We got 86 thumbs up on the crime channel. That is sad. And it's 143 people.
Today I recognize is Mr. Gill from Texas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Pritzker, do you know how much illegal immigration costs your state each year?
No, sir, I do not.
Costs over $780 per family per year. That's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And may I ask, what do you mean by
that is a lot of money.
The
for
cost
the
of
cost
illegal
your state.
immigration.
Let me ask you, do you know who Franklin Jose Pena Ramos is?
Are you talking about the federal government's
I'm
cost to
asking
the
you if
state
you
of
know who
Illinois as a
Franklin
result of
Jose
the failed
Pena Ramos is.
immigration policy?
It's a yes or no question. I'll take that as a no. Do you know who Jose Martinez Rangel is?
No, sir, I do not.
You don't. You should. Those are two men who came into this country illegally, raped and murdered 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary in my home state of Texas.
Triggers.
Do you think that elected officials should have welcomed them into our communities?
Sir, before they committed a crime, I'm not sure what you're asking.
Do you think that they should have been welcomed into our communities? That's a very straightforward question.
Someone who commits murder, no. Someone who commits murder should be
Why
apprehended.
did you state during Biden's border crisis that illegal aliens, quote, should have been welcomed and helped by elected officials?
When you say illegal
I'm
aliens,
asking
these
you,
are
should
people
these
who are
people have been
given
welcomed and
asylum.
helped into our communities.
People who are
That's an
asylum
easy
seekers.
yes or no question.
You're mischaracterizing them.
It is your position that they should have been welcomed into our communities. Is that correct?
There were
That's
asylum
from
seekers
your
who were
own
here
statement.
legally.
And
There
then
were
they went
asylum
on and
seekers.
murdered and raped 12-year-old Jocelyn.
Someone who
Nungary.
commits murder.
Triggers. Okay, so this is another woman during the incidents of what happened with the apartment building. Let's listen at what she has to say.
And people on this Chicago, you need to stop lying and saying, and people on this internet need to stop lying and saying that they're coming for black people. Yes, there was a building in a black community that was not majority black because it had been overran by illegal gang bangers. Let's be clear. So why everybody want to keep throwing that narrative around? Half of South Shore is fucking invaded by illegals. That's the truth. So don't get on here saying black people are being came for. They're coming because they're in our neighborhoods and our communities. That's why. So yes, they're going to go in buildings where black people live and sleep because
Welcome
they
to the
put
Block
them
Party.
in buildings where black people live and sleep.
Okay, now we just heard J. Ma Green say that. He just said that same thing. Now, I do like to listen at both sides and the middle. And so, and then we, it's all about what you believe in some of this stuff anyway. But that is what J. Ma said, though, that they pretty much put them in the black neighborhood. So that put black folks at risk of being arrested and swept up like this. Even though I think it is going to end up coming to that, I'm just saying, like, I ain't feeling real confident because the Constitution is being risked right now, if for lack of a better word. Let me finish
In our communities. That's why. So yes, they're going to go in buildings where black people live and sleep because they put them in buildings where black people live and sleep. South Shore, born and raised. I know what I'm talking about. Stop pushing that narrative because it's not correct.
Okay, and that's what she had to say. And these are some memes. These is from the people. This is stuff that I found on social media, and this is how people are feeling. Somebody said, I voted for lots and lots of this. And we know that they've been saying this, like, hands off of our criminals. Or we've been hearing Trump say stuff like that. I don't know why all of this stuff happened, why they allowed it to happen. I didn't get it then. I don't get it now. It don't make any sense, but we hear
Murder should be held accountable. We do that in the state.
And you think they should have been welcomed into our communities before they did?
I don't know how you can tell before somebody commits a crime that they are
secure
going
the
to
border
commit
and
the
not
crime.
let illegal aliens come into our communities. Do you support abolishing ICE?
Asylum seekers.
Do you support abolishing ICE?
No, I believe we need an immigration force in the United States.
You
In
don't.
fact,
You believe a budget is a moral document. Is that correct?
I do.
You do. You tweeted that. You gave your administration gave $12,000 to the Organized Communities Against Deportations, which just this past month was marching in the streets of Chicago with signs saying "Abolish ICE." Do you support this?
I do not.
Is this a
support
reflection of
abolishing
your
an
moral
immigration
values?
force.
Is this a reflection of your moral values?
I do not support abolishing an immigration force.
That's good to hear. Mr. Governor, do you think that biological men should be able to use women's restrooms?
I'm not sure how this has to do with immigration.
It's just a yes or no question.
Why are you?
It's very easy to
politicizing
answer.
this?
Do you
I
think
thought
that
we were
men
here
should be using
doing
women's
fact
restrooms?
finding. I'm sorry.
Do you think men should be allowed in women's restrooms?
I'm not sure why this has come to this issue.
You
It has
tweeted
nothing
that
to do
as
with
a
immigration.
protest against President Trump, everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today. Have you ever used the women's restroom?
Not that I can recall ever, sir. No.
You wanted everybody else to do it, but you didn't?
Sir, I'm not sure why we're on a topic that has
I'm
nothing to
asking
do
you,
with
you're
today's hearing.
advocating for men to use women's restrooms, but you didn't do it?
I do not advocate that, no.
Well, actually, you did. You said everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today.
I can tell you that you are
Do you regret
politicizing
saying
this in a way that what we ought to be focusing on is
Do you
the
regret
failure of the federal
encouraging men to
government.
Wait, I don't know about that forensics. I'm gonna have to research that. She said are you a male or female? Because I don't know. We're not going to talk about how home with immigration were trafficked by Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis, and that's how they ended up in Chicago. What? I don't know nothing about that. Hold on, let me look into that. What y'all know about that? Lies. They don't know what to pull out of their ass. You think they for us black people? No, I don't. Hell no. Not when I'm hearing that the Constitution, I mean, yeah, we seeing what's happening. Laws are being broken, the judges ruling on certain things, and it's being pushed anyway. So I mean, if the Constitution gets unraveled, then what? President Trump is going by the Christian Bible. What? Black is irrelevant. What are you talking about, Toon, Texas? What are we talking about? Oh, black is irrelevant because Christ is king? Is that what you're saying? All pets hate Trump. What? Trump can take a nap. All right. President Trump is going by the Christian Bible. You already said that. So Ron DeSantis and the Texas governor Greg sent thousands of immigrants to Martha's Vineyard and Democrat-led cities across the country. I remember it was something like they were arriving, I think in Colorado or wherever they were arriving in droves. I remember hearing that they were being bussed in front of like politicians' homes and stuff like that. But I can't say that I don't know how it all, I really don't know how it all happened, but I do remember hearing a little bit about like they was like drop them off at such and such house. I'm like, what is going on here? So yeah. So how did they end up? Was they forced to keep them there? Did they get some money to get them? I don't know. I got to look into that, but I'm gonna let this keep going.
Use women's restrooms
and the Congress to deal with immigration reform.
Do you regret encouraging men to use women's restrooms?
Again, you're taking us on topics that have.
Did you ever consider that women don't want you in their bathrooms?
So you're admitting that this is just a political circus.
No, I'm asking you because you put
nothing
this
to do
on
with
the internet
immigration
for everybody
and
to
really
see.
about you grandstanding.
I'm asking you, have you ever considered that women don't want you in their bathrooms? that's a private space that they don't want you or any other man in.
Congressman, let's talk about
you
your
can't say
failure to
normal
vote
people
for
can say that
Medicaid. In fact, you want to take Medicaid away.
Men should be in
and
women's
SNAP
restrooms.
and
That's a very
veteran services.
straightforward question.
You apparently want people
and you're
to
encouraging
die
men to
in the
use
United
women's
States
restrooms
because you
where there
want to
could be
take healthcare
underage
away.
girls. Do you think that's appropriate?
Sir, if we're going to
Do you think that's normal?
Let's talk about what you're doing to people in
Do you
this
think that
country
that's normal?
by virtue of your vote.
All right, let's move on.
with
Let's
President
ask,
Trump.
do you support Hamas's agenda?
Leonardo Garcia.
Sir, I do not. They are a terrorist organization.
Your administration gave a grant to the Muslim Civic Co.
Wait, hold on. Shout out to Ham for the super sticker. And Ham said, hold on, Leonardo Garcia. Why is it? I know y'all can see it on there, but I don't. Let me click off of it. Okay, so Leonardo Garcia Venegas is a U.S. citizen in the U.S. who was arrested twice by ICE last week, clearly racial profiling. So I seen, I don't know if that's anybody in politics that you're talking about, but it was a politician arrested a couple times. I don't know about this one either. Let me see. Take a shot of that.
Coalition, which just 2 weeks after October 7th was marching in the streets of Chicago to, quote, stop the U.S.-backed genocide against Gaza. Is that a reflection of your values?
I have spent my life fighting anti-Semitism.
No, I'm asking, is this a reflection of your values?
I'm not sure why you're attacking me about something in an
administration
organization.
gave money to this organization.
I'm explaining to you that what we do in the state of Illinois is stand up for what we believe are.
You didn't have to give money to the Muslim Civic Coalition.
People have the right to express themselves
to stop the U.S.-backed genocide against Gaza. That was your choice.
I know Republicans want to take away people's right to free speech. We don't in the state of Illinois. And
they've got the right to free speech. They don't have the right to tax dollars, and you gave them to them.
You want to take those rights away from people. I understand.
Gentlemen, time's expired. Chair recognizes Mr.
Okay, so we get the idea of what's going on here with that. And they I think I had a couple more to listen to, but I want to go to J-Maw Green and see what he's saying, because he is active in Chicago. And let's see what he got to say concerning this. Oh shoot, that's the wrong thing. Not what I'm trying to do. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. But please take this time to smack that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Thank you for sharing me. Thank you for sharing me. Thank you for sharing me. For sharing me. For sharing me. For sharing me. Thank you for sharing me. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe. And shout out to Ham for that super sticker. Shout out to you. Let's go. Shout out to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, now let me pull up the screen. Wait. First of all, well, I'll just do that. And then we'll do these. See what he's talking about.
In multiple places, because I want to address on multiple networks, not only on Instagram, doing well wherever you are watching, all those across the country, and especially right here in my hometown of Chicago. We are live on multiple networks, not only on Instagram, but on Facebook and multiple places, because I want to address.
You got a point there for
the migrant crisis and these ICE raids. I think that it is very important for you guys to hear an independent voice, one who has been inside, but one who has always been on the outside. And I want to break down what really happened and why we are here today.
That's what I want to know. Truth. Yeah, let's go.
So wherever you are, wherever you're watching, whatever page that you are watching me on, please make sure that you share this video and make sure that you let folks know that here is the actual truth from someone who is not getting paid to say anything.
Yeah, so y'all check out J-Maw Green. He's on Facebook and Instagram, but we gonna listen in on some fair use type stuff.
So let me go back a few years ago when this crisis became a real issue. There was Joe Biden, who was president of the United States of America at the time. And they laxed the laws to allow for folks to come across the border and claim asylum much easier than ever before. So what happened was there were countries literally pushing those, especially now. I know folks think that when Donald Trump, and this is again, as someone who is the only person to shut down a Trump rally in the country, I want y'all to also understand that some of the things that he may say has some truth to it, right? There was a situation where there were countries literally pushing folks to America's border, right? Folks were able to come across the border and be able to claim asylum at a rate that has never been done before. So you have millions of people that were crossing the border at this time.
Okay, so do y'all agree with what he's saying so far? Because I mean, I have respect for people that's there and active. So we definitely gonna listen at what this man got to say. If you look into Iran-Contra, you'll see that we funded the cartels who terrorized South America. Man, I was just talking about the drugs and stuff. Yeah. It's territory and turf stuff going on, seems to be going on right now in the waters. Trump told people to come also. LOL 8647. This is why you left this trash should be in jail. Yeah, they should. Hit the thumbs up, and you can hit the thumbs up too in case you didn't. If you talking about yeah, smack the thumbs up for anybody that didn't by double tapping the screen or hitting the 3 dots. Trump says come legally. Democrats do this to own people. Asylum seekers get their wages subsidized by your tax dollar. Get them out. Yeah, so let's finish listening to him because what time is it? Shoot, let me go.
Now, where are they crossing? Well, they're crossing at the states that are on the border of America, hence Texas, Florida. We all know where the entry sites where they were coming in at. And essentially, what was happening was the governors of those states, please understand this, the governors of those states have to expend their dollars to be able to take care of the influx of migrants that come.
Yeah, we still trying to get to 300. So can y'all please smack the thumbs up? We got how many in the building still? Let me look. We have over 300 in the building. Can 300 people please smack the thumbs up if you haven't? And we gonna keep going.
Come in. What does that mean? That means that they must figure out a way on how to house them. They must figure out a way on how to clothe them, feed them, etc. And so because this crisis was so large, now let me also say, we've always had immigration problems over the years. That's how Donald Trump even talked about building the wall back when he ran the last time. We always had immigration problems. But the problem at this moment was that there was such an
So why didn't the wall get built?
Influx of migrants coming across the border because they made it easier to do so under the Biden administration. This is just fact. And then on top of that, they made Kamala Harris the border czar and basically made her the face of the border crisis. Was that intentional or not? Go look at Kamala's book. Now she is telling you right now, and she should have said this a long time ago, that basically Joe Biden's team made her the border czar to make her look bad. She just talked about it. Go look it up. Now, anyway, millions of people coming across the border. The governors of those states, what they decided to do was, look, all y'all sanctuary cities, sanctuary states, bet y'all want them? We're going to put them on buses and we're going to bus them to where y'all at. If y'all want them, that's going to save us money, save us tax dollars. Y'all can have them, right? Because they wanted to prove that this crisis is a real crisis, right? Now, this is one of the times where we have to understand as independent thinkers that we should be, is that this is not about Republican or Democrat. This is about what makes sense. And what was common sense is that these governors in these states were getting millions of people coming across, hundreds of thousands of people coming across each month, and they had to figure out how to pay for it. So they created this idea. This is an idea that if I was the governor of those states, I would have done the same exact thing. I'm going to send migrants to the sanctuary cities that want them, right? So I can make a political point that if it's so much not a big issue, then why don't y'all take them? And that's what those Republican governors did. So they put the migrants on the buses when they came across the border because Joe Biden allowed them to check asylum. And when those people checked asylum and said that they were fleeing their country on their applications when they came over, they allowed them to come over and automatically have no restrictions against them.
So what do y'all know about what he's saying? Is that true, what he's saying? Let me see what forensics saying. Oh, forensics saying something. The point I was making earlier, shocking people into submission is not cool. Oh, shocking people into submission is not cool. Then the Democrats can get kickback from Big Pharma and anyone they want. So it's about the money as always, too, huh? Jabber whacker. What? Oh, jabber. What the heck are we talking about? 33K Epstein files, 97% were released August 8th, 2025. Keep up. Why didn't Dems release them? I mean, I want to know why they wasn't released before now, too. I mean, apparently it was some people, a lot of people trying to prevent them from being released, or maybe it was some people getting paid for them not to be released. I don't know, but it's a lot going on right now for them not to be released. That is true what he's saying. Thank you, Christopher. That was my question. Okay, so let's go. Let's get back to it. I believe J. Ma. He's very involved.
So that means that they got access to food stamps, they got access to stipends, etc. All they had to do was check asylum and say that I'm fleeing my country. So what did that say? That means that a lot of them were telling people, hey, all you got to do is check asylum and say you're fleeing the country. And all of them will start coming over in droves, right? So now the governors of these states, they're busing people to the sanctuary cities to make a statement. Now, the Democrats, they're saying, oh, you're busing these people, they're human beings. Now, they're trying to take the humanity approach. But what the governors are saying was, okay, well, since y'all care about humanity so much, you pay for them. Take them, and pay for them, right?
What?
So now we got this argument of if it is about humanity or if it's about dollars. But we got to understand that it's about both. Because just as you know, you can say, can my friend come stay with us, mama? And mama gonna say, I ain't got enough money to feed your friend. We're gonna have to figure out.
So he basically saying they sent them over, like, what y'all gonna do with them, like as a joke type of thing?
Something else. Instead, since Joe Biden were allowing them to come across the border, now the Republican governor is saying the Democrats, y'all can have them then. So what did the Democrats do? I tell you what they did. Right here in the city of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot and Brandon Johnson both said, we're going to welcome him in with open arms, right? Brandon Johnson walked in, and not even a week later into his mayoral seat, she signed off on $51 million to start to take care of him. And then he kept signing, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars later, Brandon Johnson was moving these migrants into the black communities. Now,
that is insane. He just became mayor. Oh, they hated this dude. They voted him in, believing he was going to do something for them, and this happened. We couldn't go to another country and get help because we U.S. citizens. Exactly. I mean, it's crazy as heck. Yeah, it seems that way. Forensics. They were absolutely doing it for the cruelty of it. Yes, that I didn't have the right word. So yeah, I'm like, it's like for a joke or like a gaslight. Like what? And so then the Democrats, do this mean that they got good hearts? The reason why they did it, like, or was it the money? I don't know, man. It's crazy. This is insane. But what it did do was give the Republicans something to do. It gave them some points to make and all kind of stuff. Like, you see what's happening now. So they just play right into the hands, right? Is that what we looking at? Let's keep going. That's wild.
So I'm just giving you from front to back how the migrants got here. They got over the border very easily because Joe Biden lacks the laws. The Republicans said Joe Biden lacks in these laws, and we ain't finna take care of all these migrants. So if y'all want them so bad, we're gonna send them to y'all sanctuary cities. So now they're getting bused to the sanctuary cities, and now there are mayors who have sanctuary cities that say, oh, wait, hold on, we can't take them. Y'all keep them, no, keep the buses rolling. But then there were sanctuary cities that said, all right, we're gonna figure out how to come up with some dollars because we don't want to lose the political argument. So now these sanctuary city mayors are taking migrants in because they don't want to lose the political now.
Yay, thank y'all. We got up to 300 thumbs up on the politics side. I'm sure we didn't on the crime side, but thank y'all. So our new goal is to get to 1,000. Dang, we gonna be late today. We gonna have to because I want to hear all this.
National argument. Guess where they put the migrants? All we got to do is put the migrants in the black neighborhoods because black people are more welcoming than anybody. And those communities are the ones that we don't invest in. So they got land and they got buildings.
We don't
so what
invest
happened
in.
was now they're signing off on money to create shelters in black communities in the city of Chicago. If you know Chicago, if you're not from here, look, Chicago is the most segregated city in the country. They chose intentionally to build shelters and housing with the buildings that were our buildings. They used to educate our children.
See, that's what I remember that
we've been begging for many years to be community centers, to be manufacturing hubs, to be grocery stores because we live in food deserts. Democrats always utilize black.
But I thought they wanted them for schools so they didn't have to walk far. I remember hearing that too.
Black people and black communities as a test on their agenda. And here's why they're doing that. Now they're saying, all right, let's let them all in. Because their reality of it is they think that black people are lazy and they don't want to do the essential jobs. So we'll spend billions of dollars taking care of these people in hopes that they can get citizenship that will then push them to take all of the jobs that black people are too lazy to get.
No, they
so
didn't.
Even right now, while they don't have citizenship, think about all of your college kids and the black kids in the community that could be doing DoorDash and Uber Eats. They can't compete with the migrants right now on Uber Eats and DoorDash. Every time you Uber Eats and DoorDash, they got an account that ain't even theirs that they're using. So they brought them in to fill in these essential jobs, right? And that's essentially what the Democrat plan was.
They brought them in what? Whoa. Okay. So Ham said Trump wants you to believe immigrants are taking your jobs and resources. Billionaires are taking your money and making you poor, not immigrants. What do y'all do? Would y'all agree with what Ham is saying? And thank you again for the $5 super chat, Ham. Thank you so much. So in the, let me see, our buildings, you own nothing and are cool with it. That's what he said. Our buildings in the black neighborhood. I heard him say that Chicago is the most segregated in the world, basically, and they put them in their neighborhoods. So let's keep going.
But it's costing so much money. It's costing so much money. They're spending millions of dollars each day. Brandon Johnson gave one company, Favorite Healthcare Staffing, go look them up, based in Florida, $700 million by themselves to care for, to run the shelters, to do transportation, to watch their kids, do childcare. Instead of give all them hundreds of the millions and $1 billion that he gave out, that was city dollars. They were not federal dollars or state dollars, city dollars that Brandon Johnson gave out. Instead of give it to black communities, I would have said, like, for example, say I would have said, all right, give me the migrants. I'm going to take care of them, right? At least, the least I will do is pick businesses that are in the community to give money to. You know what they did? They gave a company based in Florida hundreds of millions of dollars to provide childcare. How many childcare daycare centers we got on the south and west sides where y'all putting these migrants? Why couldn't you go to them daycares and say, look, we'll give y'all some money. Everybody, all the daycares, y'all come. Whoever want to watch the migrant kids, we'll give y'all some money to put some more money in y'all pocket. Instead, they literally gave transportation, childcare, the managing of the shelters, and everything to a group outside of the city that's not even in the city. All right, so now
that's crazy.
They're in the black communities, the black buildings that we've been begging for. They've dumped the black migrants in the black communities, even though we protested it. They're putting them in our park districts. They're putting them in buildings that used to be schools. And then on top of that, the money that you spend, you're not even spending it with any other black community that's forced to deal with this issue, right? So that means that even when they're feeding them, think of this. Brandon Johnson gave a $100 million contract out to feed the migrants. Majority of that money went to Buona. Anybody ate at Buona? The majority, $50-something million went to Buona to feed them. He gave them $17 a day per person to feed them breakfast, lunch, and dinner. $17 a day. Go and look at how much they spending on our kids in school every single day for their lunch. They ain't even spending $9 a day for them. But we
make it make sense, man. Hold on. What do y'all think about that? They did. Happy Mac said, welcome in, fam. The Callergy plan. I don't know about that. I understand your frustration, but is Trump doing you any better? I would love to hear what he got to say about Trump and his stance on him. I'm gonna have to look for that, but not today. Democrats spent literally billions of tax dollars on immigrant care. Stop lying. Yeah, that's what he said, that they brought him in and gave him everything. I mean, come on, man. This is Chicago. Are black folks finally waking up? Well, I mean, Chicago been woke. To be honest, they pay attention. A lot of the people, they just ain't being heard. They be in there. All they need is a boxing ring in the center of their town hall. They be going in.
Pay $17 a day to feed each and every migrant, and he gave it to Blona. You dump them in the black community. At least you could do is say, let me grab a bunch of black businesses in the community, and I'm gonna give y'all some money to feed them, right? So look at what's going on. This is all by design. You are not helping this community build any type of wealth with the $1 billion that you're spending on migrants right now. And then you're dumping the migrant community in our communities. And then the state comes in and pays 6 months of free rent. And then they're paying their health care. They spent $1.6 billion on health care.
Whoa, $1.6 billion on health care. So that's why, man, I'm telling you, that's why I be wanting to hear everybody, because this is the community. And this is what I heard Trump and them saying, that they want a health care for them. But that's not what I'm hearing them say now. Like, they're saying that is, the health care is about, I mean, this is two different things. We talking about Chicago. Let's stay focused on Chicago. But I'm talking about as far as the shutdown, that's the Democrats are saying that's about our health care. But what do y'all think about what he's saying? That's a lot. What's his source? The man is involved. I mean, he's there. He be there. But I mean, I know for a fact that he sits in on the meetings and he's talking to these folks. Like I said, he ran for mayor before, so I know that he knows this. He's in on that stuff. And so also Jedediah Brown shared his video, and they not even cool like that. Jedediah shared it. He said, because he's another activist in Chicago. Like I said, I've been following him since 2017 with the Kanika Jenkins case, and how I was able to follow that case so well through Jedediah. But he was like, I'm sharing this because it's true. It's true. They live there and they involved. But hey, I don't know. I'm just trying to learn what the heck, because it's a lot of confusion. Everybody's saying something different, and it's just like everything ain't making sense. But they are trying to replace black people. That Trev, I think you probably the one that's been saying that in the chat. I don't know. You might be right. He's just saying things and not citing a single source. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It would be good if he would say his source or whatever, but I mean, it probably can be found. I don't know. Where do you find the damn truth? I mean, seriously. But I do believe what he's saying based off of, didn't we just watch the community? The community, we just watched them in the hearing. So you know what I'm saying? There's some truth to what this man is saying. It's a lot of truth. I remember when this was going on, even though I wasn't paying attention to it like that, I just happened to run across it. I'm like, dang, what the heck they got going on?
$1.6 billion on healthcare in the state of Illinois. Go look it up. $1.6 billion on healthcare alone.
Go look it up.
So this has cost the state and the city and the county billions and billions of dollars over the last 3 years. Over the last 3 years, we spent billions of dollars. But then you look at the black community and you say, damn, these same buildings are vacant. Y'all got 44,000 lots. 44,000 lots. See, guess what? They don't own me, so I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't give a damn. And the governor, the mayor, they all going to watch this video. And I don't give a damn. I'm going to expose them all. 44,000 lots are vacant on the south and west side of Chicago.
That's
Ain't
crazy.
No building happening. 50% of all permits that the city gives away are in 4 wards. You know where they at. They downtown, Fulton Market, the north side. 50% of all permits that they give to build anything are in 4 out of the 50 wards. The south and west sides, there's no building happening. So they're not building no new housing. They're not building no new grocery stores. They're not doing none of that. So they're taking the wealth out of our community by not investing the money that they're spending on migrants. They're dumping the migrants in our communities because they want them to take their essential jobs, and they're willing to spend billions of dollars on them for. How many times black people got to be smacked in the face? And this is what I'm talking about. So now that the migrants are in our communities, and Donald Trump ran and said, I am going to deport all of the people who just got here, where he going to get them from? He got to come to our Home Depots. He got to come to our neighborhoods. He got to come to South Shore, where the building that used to be majority black is now majority migrant. He got to go into our communities to go get them because they put them there in the first place with their agenda that they couldn't even pay for. See, the reality of the situation is that they playing politics right now, but they are going to be thankful later. But they're not going to say it publicly. They are going to be thankful for the fact that they don't have to keep spending millions of dollars on migrants. But they can't say that. They got to step up and they got to fight Donald Trump. The problem with these Democrats in Illinois, y'all, is that they hate Donald Trump more than they love the people. They hate Donald Trump more than they love black people. And they don't want to say it, but the facts are the facts. Now ICE is raiding black communities looking for migrants, and black people are collateral damage. We're collateral damage because you allowed them to be placed in our communities, and you didn't even invest into these communities to help make them better. So when they take all the migrants out of the black community, the black community is still going to be the poorest in the community, the least amount of wealth, the least amount of homeowners, the least amount of development, the least amount of permits. We still gonna be having the food deserts and all of the things that's happening in these communities, and they don't give a damn. We got to stop allowing our local politicians to keep treating us how they've been treating us. We don't deserve it. We are continuing to put every issue on our back, and all of the people out there that's out there fighting for the immigrants to stay, the migrants to stay. How many of them got a shelter in their neighborhood? Go and chat GPT. Is it a shelter in Wrigleyville? Go chat GPT. Is it a shelter in the Gold Coast? Go chat GPT. How many shelters on the north side compared to the south side? I already know the answer because I got the facts. Somebody go fact check it right now. Put it in the comments. All of the shelters, majority of all of the shelters are on the south side of Chicago. And at the end of the day.
Okay, so chat GPT. Go search that and ask it. That's where he's looking at, I guess. And besides him just being there on the scene and knowing what's happening.
They did that on purpose. Brandon Johnson even came out with a plan to build these new tent camps. How many of y'all remember? Y'all better go back to the facts. They were going to build these new migrant tents.
What?
And guess where they all were? They was in a black community.
That's
and it
crazy.
took for Governor Pritzker to come in and say, no, we ain't going to do that. But if Governor Pritzker...
Now that's crazy. They was going to do that? All them things would have been on fire. That's the first thing they did at the White House was get rid of the encampments and all that. So that's what they was thinking.
He never stepped in because he didn't want to get the backlash for it. Brandon Johnson was about to put migrant tents all through the black community.
What?
And build them on the land that we should be building homes and stuff. He was going to put migrant tents all throughout the land.
Oh, hell no, man. That's crazy. Brandon Johnson came in with all that. That I would be mad as hell if that was to happen in my neighborhood. I'm sorry. Like, that is not okay. Like, they tore down the whole block for the Obama library. We ain't even talking about Obama. What the heck are we talking about here? By what right do Democrats get their jobs away because we are being replaced? First, he was complaining about them being housed in hotels and community centers. Yeah, because there's money being spent that should be spent on the people in the community. Like, I mean, I never understood that. I'm like that. And then it's making the crime rate go up and putting more people in danger. Like, that is crazy. And then y'all seen what happened with the apartment building. Everybody, black folks caught up in that, kids zip tied, which that was crazy. Because to me, they should have known who they were going after and what buildings they was in or apartments they was in. That's crazy. But anyway, let's keep going.
And he spent millions of dollars on the tents just for Pritzker to stop him. Millions of dollars we wasted.
What?
So I'm just saying this to say, don't let these people fool y'all. This ain't I'm not in support of Donald Trump. I would never be in support of any type of enforcement actions. Y'all know who I am. But what I'm going to tell y'all is that they plan in y'all face and stop letting them do it. They go out and walk down your block and see how much investment your local politicians putting in your block.
They playing in our face is what he's saying, and he don't support Trump. He just telling the truth. Okay. You should have seen the last few years with those people in the community. But let's not talk about the gangs. ICE went after black folks too. Now I did hear that because I heard Trump saying, "Oh, we gonna go after the gangs." I'm like, oh man. I mean, but listen. Crime in Chicago seems to be high, but I don't like the whole military thing because it feel like we getting prepared for the real deal. It's like getting us used to it, and not to mention the loss of life with them being there. People have been shot, ran down, all kind of stuff has happened since ICE is coming into these areas. So, I mean, I think the initial get the immigrants out or whatever is cool, but I mean going trickling down to other people when that wasn't the task, that's my concern. Like, okay, you said one thing, but now like even with the immigrants, it started with the illegal immigrants and then it trickled down to all immigrants, whether you got a green card or not, whether you're legal or not. And so yeah. But as far as all of the ones that came in droves, in buses, causing problems, those ones, them the ones I thought they was really focusing in on, but it changed. So that's my concern. Because how much further? Because now we at gang violence and criminals and, yeah. So it's a little bit different than what was said. It was said that it was going to be.
A $750 million deficit in public schools. Go into public schools and look at how your kids being educated. But they spend millions of dollars for all the migrant kids to get transported to all them schools. And when the migrants walked in your Chicago public school, they got breakfast, lunch, dinner. They got a book bag. They got clothes. They got everything. And there's some of y'all kids out there, because I know y'all personally, that ain't got money to put a book bag on the back of your kid. And you sent him to school with just a folder and a pencil. And guess what? They don't give a damn, because the agenda is not for our kids. The agenda is whatever the political agenda is of today.
There it is. There it is. And that's the plan in people's face part, I guess. So let me see what y'all saying. So a black woman went on TV and said they didn't want them in the communities and the mayor ignored them. Yeah. I mean, we was just watching those hearings a little bit earlier on. Welcome in to everybody. Y'all, please make sure you smack the thumbs up if you haven't got a chance to. We still trying to get to 1,000 thumbs up. Let's get to 500 since we still here. We supposed to end already, but we gonna keep going. Just because, I mean, this is interesting, and I'd like to keep an open mind and just hear it out. And like at the end of this, you can literally go back to his part and Google everything that he's saying that you questioning and see if it's true. See what come up. He not making this stuff up though.
And we got to stop allowing them to play in our face. Our schools are underfunded. Our schools are terrible. Our schools are not educating our kids properly. But the agenda is going to be to make all of the schools migrant schools. Our neighborhoods don't have investment, but they're going to take all our buildings and make them migrant shelters. We didn't ask for no migrant shelters. We asked for grocery stores. We asked for manufacturing hubs. We asked for new jobs. We asked for new businesses. We asked for new homes. We asked for economic development. We didn't ask for no migrant shelters.
Are they wrong for that? Are they wrong for that? This is a community. People are coming together because they want to see a community again. It used to be a time when we did have communities in our house and in our neighborhoods. Quit voting for Democrats, Eric said. Schools need parental participation. And that right there is a huge problem. Yeah, parents need to wake up. I mean, that right there is a huge issue. But if you a village, just you start going. People can, not you in particular, but I'm just saying, like, if you just sitting around and you want to make the world a better place, you can start doing things in the community. Anybody can do it, pick up and do something in the community to make it better. I mean, we all got to do our part. But parents do need to wake up, and I know that parents do not show up for their kids. A lot of them don't. I've heard.
We didn't ask for you to keep incentivizing another group to be here. And that's why I said, if I was the governor of Texas or Florida, I would have did the same thing. Y'all want them? Y'all can have them. And I'm gonna bust them straight to y'all. That is a genius idea. Why would I continue spending billions of dollars in Texas and in Florida when there are sanctuary cities like Illinois and Chicago and Colorado? There are sanctuary cities who wants them. Since y'all want them, since y'all sanctuary, take them then. But what y'all doing? Y'all got $1 billion deficit every single year since. Right now, we got a $1.1 billion deficit in the city of Chicago. In the city of Chicago, Brandon Johnson is about to raise y'all taxes again. He raised them last year. Last year, he put a tax on streaming for Netflix and Xfinity. He increased taxes on your Xfinity bills. He increased tickets, fines, and fees on the tickets that you get on the street. He raised $75 tickets to $100. He pushed them to give out more tickets. He increased fees on permits and things of that sort.
Hey, a man that can rattle all the stuff off, he ain't lying. Dang, he know everything he done raised. Tickets went from $75 to $100. Everything, Netflix and streaming. What? OMG, just to pay for stuff that you don't want? What? Take them in and feed them. Let them sleep at your place. That's wild. I didn't know what the heck was going on with that.
He is continuing to increase the fees on the people while giving away $1 billion to the migrant crisis, and we ain't got nothing for it. What we get back for it? What we get back now that they all finna be deported? We get nothing. We don't get no tax dollars made. Most of these people couldn't be citizens, so they couldn't even pay taxes how they should. The biggest problem that I have with this, right, is that there are some immigrants who have been here for many years. And this is not about those people. There are immigrants who have been here many years, who have started families here, who have worked hard here, who didn't come here and get access to all of the welfare that the migrants did. They didn't come here and get instant 6 months free rent, get instant health care, get instant a stipend every single month. They didn't come here to get instant food stamps. They didn't come here and get none of those things. They came here and they were so scared of ICE and the government that they were here so silent that you didn't even know they were here. They went and worked for $2, $3 an hour and got cash under the table just so they could be able to start their family. There are immigrants who I employ right to this day who get up to work every single day and go on construction sites and build homes. There are Mexican immigrants and other immigrants. I have folks in every field who are immigrants that I support and employ today that have been here for decades. Those are the ones who I'm not talking about. I am more talking about the millions that have came in that have sucked up hundreds of billions of dollars over the last few years and created this problem that we cannot sustain. Unfortunately.
And those are the ones I'm talking about, but they not being separated. They not being separated at no point in time right now. They are all lumped in one. Anyone here illegally must be deported, Mrs. O said. Welcome in. You're either with the American people or against them. That's how Lisa Ann feels. He right on that. Renee says, welcome in until they let them in. And received about $2 billion in healthcare and paid back about $1 billion, not an issue. Who is employed? Why don't you have an all-black workforce? Now you got a good point there. You got a great point there. But you know, when you a business, you pretty much you employ everybody if you want to be a real business. Like, and it sounds like he is talking about building homes and all of that stuff. Forensic said he's part of the problem. The way that it is now, but to be honest, he probably do it to save money. I don't know if he paid them less or not, or if he just looking at people that had the skills to do the job, or I don't know how he go about picking his folks, but I definitely get what you're saying. The one Biden and Kamala bought here is, who is he talking about? The ones, talking all that black shit. Well, yeah, I mean, he's talking about the neighborhoods and stuff. But you got a point. I can't argue with you.
Everybody else is becoming collateral damage. I hope and I wish that the Trump administration would put focus on those who are criminals. Let's talk about this. How many of the folks in them shelters and how many of the migrants have committed crimes in Chicago? Go and look at We've had dozens of migrants who have committed rape, who have
Triggers.
molested kids,
Triggers.
who have committed murders.
Triggers.
And guess what? We're not protecting them just because this is the political moment. If there are criminals who are running our streets and putting our kids at risk, then we need to work with ICE to get rid of them. And if that was the deal, I guarantee you, I know this for a fact because Donald Trump is a deal maker. If the mayor of Chicago would have went to Donald Trump and said, listen, I need you to back off me and I'll give you everybody that has been committing and convicted of crimes. And that is what I would work with you on. Donald Trump would have saw that as a win, and he would have went out there and said, well, the mayor of Chicago going to work with us on everybody who committed crimes, so we ain't going to go full force in Chicago. But instead of trying to work with the president because you hate him so much, you want to put up this political fire. So guess what Donald Trump going to do? He going to piss on the fire. Whoever is the president of the United States, we need to work with him. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care who it is. Joe Biden wasn't the best president either, and I would have still worked with Joe Biden or anybody else. We have to be able to coordinate every level of government for the betterment of the people. But instead, J.B. Pritzker, who wants to run against Donald Trump and be president, Brandon Johnson want to play politics because he's trying to figure out how to get people to like him again. They can give a damn about the people because they're playing politics right now. What I'm telling you is don't let these people keep playing politics in your face. I need you to understand what's really going on. And what's really going on is we all pawns in this situation. We all are pawns in their political agenda. Everybody that's being collateral damage, they are all pawns because everybody want to play politics. Everybody want to piss on each other when we really should be figuring out a way on how we can get better as a country. That means that we cannot continue spending billions of dollars each and every day. We got to figure out a better plan on how to deal with the crisis that came under Joe Biden.
So what do y'all think about that? Do y'all agree with what he's saying? He's boots on the ground for real? Yeah, he really is boots on the ground. I mean, I haven't followed him in a minute, but I know that he was boots on the ground, and he's still talking as if he is. So I believe he is. And so say it with me, droid. F the government. What the heck? Y'all arguing or what y'all doing? Cut, you so bad, and Trump isn't playing politics. Why do you hold these to higher levels, such an ignorant somebody? He's a fool. The man know what he talking about. He talking about his city. He the one sitting in on the meetings and seeing the faces of these people that he talking about. He also said that he know they gonna be watching and he don't care. They gonna listen and he's still gonna tell the truth. So, I mean, you might not agree with everything that he said, but he's giving us facts, at least as he see it from where he's sitting. I like to hear what the people that's there have to say. Also, both sides. Like I say, I like to hear both sides and the middle. And I mean, because that's how you can figure out what's really going on. And this make a lot of sense to me. And in combination with the hearings and how everybody else was feeling too, like they not feeling Brandon at all.
And if we all came together to figure out a better plan, rather than going to just protest ICE shelters and getting hit upside the head, rather than just saying that I hate Trump every single day, we got to figure out a plan that's going to actually work for the betterment of our communities. And that is not going to be what we're doing now by playing politics because we're trying to find ways to campaign for elections. Brandon Johnson is about to campaign for mayor. J.B. Pritzker is about to campaign for president. Everybody want to play political games right now. I feel you. But how you hate Donald Trump more than you love the people? Your people are suffering. Your people are starving. Your people are not getting what they deserve in their community. And all you can do is try to make them pawns to try to fight against each other. So yeah, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna play a video and say, hey y'all, they coming after black people, so that black people can get out there and get knocked out by ICE agents with everybody else.
Now that is what that right there is what people are saying, that they trying to get black folks out there protesting so they can get drugged and all of this kind of stuff. And so they're heightening it up, making it seem like it's one way, but it's not. Now I heard somebody else saying that too. Are way down. Deportations are way down. I'm assuming you voted for Trump. We are all Americans. We share the same. I'm a person that like to know what's going on. So I like to hear both sides in the middle. I ain't neither one. And who I voted for ain't nobody business. So your Republican dad voted for this. Illegals are not Americans. Wait, hold Trump. Wait, hold, Trump got us spending more money. Now that's for damn sure. I just went to the grocery store yesterday and the prices are ridiculous. Bacon, $20. I mean, the bacon that I wanted. Well, it was $20. Now it went down to 16, but it's still too damn much for some bacon. And I burnt half of it this morning. I just thought y'all, man, I was so mad about that. Like, man, this bacon is too high to be burning.
Gonna play you as a pawn against Donald Trump and vice versa. And play, but guess what? Donald Trump and them can't play us as a pawn because we already know what ain't our fight. We already know who was fighting with us. We already know who was with us when Laquan McDonald got shot 16 times and George Floyd got kneeled on his neck. We already know who was at those protests. We already know when they made everybody go through our neighborhoods because they shut down downtown. We already know who is with us to clean up our neighborhoods. We already know who is funding and giving up money so that people can reopen up their business. And I'm going to tell you what, it wasn't none of these white folks out there right now who out there protesting ICE shelters and playing politics. We got to stop playing and get us together. And then if we get us together and we build our communities and buy our blocks, build our businesses, build our own power and put our own politicians in play so that they can stop playing with us, it's the only time they're going to take us serious.
Wow. So, I mean, he said a mouthful. And yeah, I was following him through that Laquan McDonald and all that injustice. And that guy, that cop got off. He really didn't even do his time. And that was a long fight. And you just heard him say why they out protesting in one place, they looting in another place. And basically, I mean, that's where I learned that they have paid protesters that come in and cause all kind of ruckus and looting and all this stuff. Like they dropping off bricks, like just like trucks, big trucks, just dropping off bricks. Okay. And I mean, that's organized by somebody higher up. Right, but that's the kind of stuff that happened, and then black folks get blamed for it. They putting Black Lives Matter all over everything, and you know that's why George Soros' name got mentioned because I guess he funds some of that stuff. But yeah, everything is high. Yeah, everything is high. Absolutely, it's so frustrating. DC, you're violating your own constitution. Exactly. Democrats are terrorists. Good Lord. But let me let him finish.
So this, I wanted to say, I wanted to tell y'all the truth on what's really going on. Make sure y'all share this video and let folks know, don't be pawns in this situation. This not a fight for you to get out there and get knocked upside the head for no reason. ICE ain't going nowhere. They're under direct orders from Donald Trump because Illinois politicians want to play politics with Donald Trump and they both playing politics with each other. Don't get caught up in the middle. Stay safe and stay dangerous. Peace and love, everybody. Talk to you.
Stay safe, stay dangerous, and stay the hell at home is basically what he's saying. Okay. Shandy up in here. Welcome in, Shandy. How you doing, fam? Oh, Shandy Hayes. Welcome in, Shandy. I thought it was Shandy Cheat. People should not talk if they didn't get out and vote. Hold on. I don't know why I can't see the rest of that. Oh, people should not talk if they didn't get out and vote. Now some seem to have something to say. Well, yeah, a lot of people, everybody that's paying attention got something to say. But one thing I can say that everybody is not paying attention, and a lot of people don't care. I was watching Don Lemon. He was in New York, out on the streets, just trying to get a take from people just walking by. And it was so many people that did not care, did not even know what was going on, and ain't trying to figure it out. People just want to live a life and they just want to do them, you know. It's a lot of lost people that ain't trying to be found. Oh shoot, hold on. I don't know what's happening here. Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to pull that up. Hold on, y'all. Great. Pulling up my own screen. Let's close that. The heck? Oh no. Yeah, let's stop sharing that. Let me share something else. Because I think I had one more that I wanted to play on this topic. Let me cover this up right quick. Please subscribe and press that notification bell and thumbs up. Please subscribe and press. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. For sharing. For sharing. For sharing me. Thank you for so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. For sharing. For sharing. So for sharing.
Today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz. Today I got time, cuz.
Mayor Johnson, how about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
If you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate.
How about you? How many, according to my records, you have welcomed 51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
Wait, is that the number Jay Moss said?
51,648 illegal aliens to your sanctuary city. So I'd ask you, sanctuary from what?
If you're referring to the number of individuals that were bused from Governor Abbott without any coordination, the 52,000 individuals that were seeking asylum, those individuals were bused to us. I passed a bus ordinance to work to coordinate with the governor of Texas. He refused to do that. But that transfer of individuals was the result of the governor of Texas, not the result of a welcoming city ordinance.
Welcoming city ordinance. So you're not welcoming these people that came here illegally?
The individuals that were bused to us from the border. From
They were not
Governor
welcome in Chicago? You didn't welcome them? You didn't provide them sanctuary?
So the welcoming city ordinance is pretty straightforward. It allows for our local law enforcement to focus on local policies, and that's why we're seeing a decline in violence.
So you don't care about federal law enforcement policies, only local policies?
We comply with all laws. What I do care about is this body, Washington, passing comprehensive immigration.
So let me ask you this. Chicago residents reported 28,443 violent crimes during 2024 alone, cases of aggravated assault rising to the highest level in 2 decades. Now, also, state funds, $160 million were issued to illegal alien job assistance shelters in Chicago. You're the mayor of Chicago. Do you think that your residents or the residents of your state should be paying for that more than they should be paying for their own needs, their own roads, their own public safety? I mean, who elected you? The people that came illegally, whether they were sent to you or not, or the people that reside in Chicago? Who elected you? And who do you serve?
The people of Chicago elected me as the 57th mayor of the city of Chicago, and we serve all the residents of the city of Chicago.
Illegal or not, criminal or not. How many of the 662,566 illegal aliens with criminal histories that ICE has reported are now residing in Chicago?
Someone will have to get back with you with that number. I don't keep account of.
Do you take immigration information from criminals as they're arrested and processed? Do you take immigration information?
Our local law enforcement focuses on getting all violent individuals
do you
off the
determine
streets
whether
of
they're here
Chicago.
legally, what their immigration status is as a function of your justice
Gentlemen,
system?
time's expired, but please feel free to answer the question, Mayor.
The welcoming city ordinance ensures that our local residents communicate and trust local law enforcement to ensure that criminals and crime is being addressed.
So
And
you
that's
have
why
no
violent
idea how many
crime
are relieved.
has
Thank
gone
you,
down
Mr.
in the
Chairman.
city
I'll
of
yield.
Chicago. Thank you very much,
Chair now
Congressman.
recognizes
Mr. Chairman, I have a
Mr.
unanimous
Khanna.
consent request.
Okay, so he said some of the things that I heard J Moss saying. Oh, let me wait, hold on. Turn this on. So yeah, what do y'all think about all that? The Democrat Party is full of criminals. Really, not the Republicans too? I'm not complaining though. You status are just here trolling with the facts. Those immigrants were used to deter people from voting for our democracy, and it worked. Yeah, man. Something is working, I'm telling you, because it don't look like America right now. In America, taxi drivers are from other countries. In other countries, taxi drivers are from that country. See it every time I travel. Change your laws. Get selfish. Welcome in, Eric. Deport cab drivers. What the heck? Anyway, so that's pretty much all I wanted to cover with this story. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope y'all got a chance. We definitely had enough time for everybody to hit the thumbs up. We've been here 2.5 hours. So please double tap the screen if you haven't already, and or hit the 3 dots upper right to the thumbs up. Again, it's so important for me, Democrats, to give our jobs away till we have nothing. It's so important for me, Democrats, to give our jobs away. When do you go on next? I'm about to go live next as soon as I end this live, because I want to talk about dang, I forgot her name. My mind is clouded. I can't think. What's her name? Oh, Renea Lewis. I want to talk about that. No immigrant is taking my job. Shoot, we got to worry about AI taking your job more than anything. Because that's taking over, up and coming. And it came right on time. For sure, I'm going to be there. Okay, I appreciate it. I think, let me see. When I end this, definitely, I don't know which channel you're on, because I'm on crime and politics. But it's going to pop up on the crime side. And I'm going to meet y'all there. I'm going to just end this live and go right back live. Like I said, I was. So I'll see y'all in a minute. And if you're not, just come over to my crime channel. Because I don't think it might pop up over here. I think I put it in the pop up over here. But I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thank y'all so much. As a matter of fact, I need to end the poll first. So we have 165 votes on the crime side, but we got 129 thumbs up. And it was, did you hit the thumbs up? And y'all said, of course. No, you didn't. Not everybody. So we got, of course, at 59%, 41 at done. So I appreciate the 129 people on the crime that did hit the thumbs up, with 50 still tuning in. And also a shout out to the 321 people with 74 still tuning in. And if y'all stick around, we're going to go right back live. So I will see y'all in the next video. Just stay right there. Peace and love. We'll be back.